What's up guys, it's RJ back again with another sneaker video for you, and today for the third time in a row, I think third time, another Ultraboost. This one though, straight from Japan. Shout outs to my boy Chris who hooked me up, got me the plug and the proxy, and what can I say, man? I'm excited to share these. Let's just get into them. So we've got, like I said, another Ultraboost. There's the box tag. And this colorway is being called the Celebrating Black Culture Ultraboost. Right off the bat, I'm gonna get it out of the way. Here's the shoe. Before we dive any deeper, there's been some controversy, some discussion, whatever you wanna call it, regarding this colorway, because obviously it's celebrating black culture and the shoe is 99% shades of whites and creams and whatnot. So I don't want to dive too deep into it because I'm not a very political person, and I'm not super well versed on black culture aside from what I choose to immerse myself into. With that said, I thought about it a little bit. I saw a lot of different opinions online, and I'm gonna go with one thing that I saw on Twitter, and I forget who said it. I wish I would have saved it, but essentially they said, why should color matter? And that's true. I think that's how we should all look at race. We are all the same. We're all human beings. We are all one species, and that's just how I'm going to choose to look at it. So I'm going to throw all that other stuff aside, and I'm going to leave that for anyone else who wants to discuss it. And that's just where I'm going to leave it. And now I will share with you the shoe. So here you have them right here. Again, Adidas Ultraboost Uncaged, celebrating black culture. Start off with the tongue tags right there. Right shoe is gonna have the Adidas Performance logo. Left shoe gonna feature CBC. Obviously, celebrating black culture is what that's going to stand for. And I believe those are the only differences on each shoe. So we'll go with the CBC labeled shoe, just because we've seen the Adidas Performance logo 150,000 times. And here you have them. So before we go any further, the only two shoes that I can think of that are built like this and uncaged, three shoes. The Hypebeast 1.0 black uncaged, the Solebox, which is probably the famous of all of them, is still a 1.0 base, and the third one that I'm gonna lump into is the Haven triple black. That's built on a 2.0 prime knit upper, so not as iconic and or sought after as the first two, but this does resemble the Solebox in a sense that it has similar color shades to it. So I love the shoe. I have never been able to get my hands on a pair of Solebox Ultraboosts because they're so damn overpriced. The 1.0 is obviously the uncaged. They've done a mid since then, but it's neither here nor there. So anyway, with that said, let's dive into the shoe, talk about the different shades of white and the few hits of color that this shoe did receive. First up though, sizing as always. Sizing is going to be, in my opinion, a half size down. I believe that was the same with the Solebox as well, from what I've always heard from anybody who has those. And there's a lot of room in these. Even with the insole in, the forefoot is pretty baggy, as well as the mid area, and there's definitely some room in there. So I'd go a half size down. If you don't mind a little extra room and a little extra bagginess throughout the shoe, go true to size. I just went with a 10 because lately for some reason most shoes have been running big. So now let's go ahead and break down materials and colors. So the upper, from the toe box all the way to where the prime knit separates into this back portion, is white with cream intertwined in it. All around the toe box right here is going to be cream, essentially just whites with off-white hits throughout all this prime knit right here. Laces are cotton, cream colored. Right there on that tongue tag is that same nubuck that we've talked about pretty recently in a few other videos. Ridiculously buttery. While we're talking about that nubuck, let's head back to the heel cup. That was a little bit of a tongue twister. Heel cup, very similar to that on the Solebox. The entire cup is that nubuck leather. As you can see, Ultraboost right there embossed on the outer portion of the cup. Up above that cup, right around the ankle area right here, almost, like I said, I don't have the sole boxes, but it looks like the same pattern, same material, almost like a nylon-ish feeling to it. And it's got definitely a little pattern that runs through it, almost like a checkerboard through that entire piece. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up or not, but definitely different than a lot of Ultraboost that we've seen. Very unique. And I'd like a little more background from somebody at Adidas as to how this came to be. It makes me think that this could have potentially been a sole box look at one point, or maybe a second generation of that. And then, you know, they just decided to use it for this instead of that. Just because there's so many similarities to it, it's hard to think that maybe that wasn't in somebody's mind at one point or another. But anyway, just some random thoughts that I felt like I would ramble on about. Let's head from the lateral to the medial side of the shoe, where you will see the only real hits of color throughout the entire colorway. You've got 3 little eyelets right there for the shoelaces, 1 red, 1 purple, 1 black. I'm not gonna pretend like I know what those colors stand for, because unfortunately I do not. And maybe somebody can enlighten me down below if there's a significance to those 3 colors. I'm sure they definitely mean something to someone, so I apologize for not knowing that, but leave a comment down below if you do know. So those eyelets right there are plastic, whereas the rest are sewn in, as you can see right there on the rest of the eyelets for the shoelaces. And they are also reinforced. They've got, you can't really see the plastic that's surrounding them, just to reinforce them so they don't get tugged out of there when you are lacing the shoes up or running in them, whatever you plan on doing. So with that said, removable insole as always, featuring a Celebrating Black Culture little logo, little basketball. Same Ultraboost insole though, aside from that. And real quick, just a little tip for those of you wondering, these do have pretty long laces. So if you can see inside the shoe right there, I just kind of pull them back right inside the shoe, which is, you know, not anything crazy, but that's the way to keep your long laces shorter, keep them tied up, just to appear a little better. If this is how you lace your shoes up, this is how I choose to do it. So Ultraboost midsole, a ridiculous amount of boost as always. We've seen that, talked about it countless times. Head back to the medial side of the shoe. You do have this upper portion of the torsion system right below your heel in all white. You got hits of red right there on the middle portion of the torsion system. All black, Continental outsole, Continental logo. And I know it is very redundant. If you watch all of my videos, I talk about Ultraboosts way too much, but all bullshit aside, I do think it's a great colorway. I do think it's a great addition to my collection. I'm very happy with it. I wish there was more for me to say, you know, to elaborate on what everybody's been talking about, but I just decided to leave that for everybody on Twitter. I just wanted to share with you the build, the materials, and everything else that went into this shoe. As far as comfort goes, it's an Ultraboost, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, definitely somewhere around there. Price-wise, they did come in at 180 bucks, which was nice, because typically special, out of the ordinary colorways do come in at 200, sometimes 220 if they are collaborations. But yeah, 180. I paid a ridiculous amount to get these over here from Japan to share them with you guys early, and I'm sure they'll be dropping everywhere and shouldn't be too hard to get. They popped up on Sense and sold out within a day or so, but I don't think the demand is too high, so don't fret if you haven't got your hands on them and you want them, because I'm sure you will be able to obtain them at some point. So there you have them again, the Ultraboost Celebrating Black Culture. I will put these on feet and give you guys a better look at them, and that's gonna do it for me. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. If you could do me a favor and you did enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already and you want a little more from me in the future, tap the subscribe button. And if you have any questions, concerns, anything that I didn't answer, leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Until next time.